Welcome aboard Wednesday's Market Intel Brief here at TOPGUN Options. My name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz, and market is in a holding pattern right now, waiting for the bottom card in this AI house of cards. I mean, Nvidia reporting after market close is just, it's insane how much the market is putting on this one stock. But when you see headlines like this, Nvidia has become a banker to the AI boom, putting it on dangerous ground. Whoa. And this one, Wall Street is counting on Nvidia to keep the AI party going. Nvidia's results could send shockwaves through the tech sector and the broader stock market. Whoa. So big afternoon when the market closes and we see Nvidia's results. But I'm going to move on from Nvidia rather quickly because of this headline today. First, there was a New York Times article about, psychedelic clinics in Mexico, a rape at this one clinic and some deaths and all sorts of stuff. Folks, it's the Wild West in these clinics in Mexico and Costa Rica. And they're price gouging, right? So that dropped. Then what dropped? States should start planning now for FDA approval of psychedelics. Who says this? The federal government. Ladies and gentlemen, SAMHSA, right? Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. Are you kidding me? Now, I am going to pat myself on the back a little bit. You know what? More importantly, the team at No Fallen Heroes and Sacred Warrior Fellowship, got my t-shirt on. Man, there's no way, even a couple years ago, could you see a headline like this. Did you buy these psychedelic stocks when I told you to? If you didn't, it ain't too late. Are you insane? I stood in the Oval Office in April when President Trump ended the war on psychedelics. Folks, this is a government agency said, and it's not the FDA. The FDA is already saying, hey, when Definium, DFTX, or Compass submit their NDAs or new drug applications, they're going to get approved in days, not months, years type of thing. So, folks, buy Definium with both hands. Buy Compass. We are seeing a ton of call activity in the 20 strike. It's a $15 stock right now. The September 20 strike, folks. So Sep 26, the $20 calls right here, a ton of activity. So somebody might know something's coming. We're going to talk about all this stuff, folks, in our next series of live, free, complimentary, full throttle training. September 8th and 9th, 2 briefs in the morning at 10 a.m. The primary brief on Tuesday, the accelerated retirement brief on Wednesday. Then the 9th, Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to do some options weapons school training. But we're going to talk about the psychedelic stocks. We're going to talk about being bullish on America. War, economic and real. Warsh, who's speaking at Jackson Hole on Friday. The elections, which ain't, man, that's going to be a train wreck. And this AI bubble. We have so much to talk about in this complimentary full throttle training. You don't want to miss it. Head to go.topgunoptions.com/full-throttle. And look at this, folks. My personal account, I just took the screenshot from my brokerage account, 62% year to date. Hell, I was doing better before a little bit of a pullback recently. I was up about 8. Well, it doesn't matter what was, Wiz. What's today? There's today, folks. Well, compared to what? How about the S&P 500, folks? 12%. The NASDAQ tech, 11. The Dow is for dead people. Ladies and gentlemen, I am absolutely crushing any indices and the vast majority of the smart money out there. Who is it? The guy from Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful. 90% of money managers can't beat the S&P 500. Well, they're idiots. If you're paying anybody to manage your money, I think you're an idiot, folks. You can do this. I can train you how to do this. Take control of your own portfolio. Hey, and there's the flight schedule, what we're going to be talking about during the full throttle training. And just for registering, I'm going to give you a copy of our Bullish on America report. Okay, one more time, go.topgunoptions.com/full-throttle. throttle. Dumb trade war with Canada, higher tariffs. Now I'm going to smack you in the face. You smack me, blah, blah, blah. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Detroit, our auto industry is going to get hammered. The steel and the auto, and we'll see what happens. Trump's in a who's bigger contest, not only with Carney, but what's his name? Ford from Ontario. We'll see what happens there. I think Besant, big swing and a miss. Was it yesterday? Operation Economic Overlord or Outcast or Outlaw, whatever it is. It sucked. I was sitting here like, oh my God, economic D-Day. The president, the Treasury Secretary said we're going to launch an economic D-Day against Iran. Well, with what, a Nerf gun? The number one country that needed to be targeted if you are having an economic war with Iran is China. And he didn't. I don't know if it was supposed to be a good cop, bad cop, like Besant was going to hit him hard, and then in a couple, when is it, the end of September, Trump and Xi are going to meet. Maybe Trump was going to go good cop in person. Well, what a limp-wristed nothing yesterday out of the Treasury Secretary. Absolute disgrace. Stop using the word war or D-Day if you don't mean it. So I'm embarrassed. I watched that whole press conference. I'm like, where's the... That ain't even an economic Vietnam. It's nothing. So that was a disgrace this week. And the market was a little on pins and needles waiting for that. Like, hey, we're going to have they're going to launch this D-Day. What's it going to look like? Huge trade war? Nothing. That was stupid. All eyes after Nvidia this morning switch out to the beautiful people in Jackson Hole and the Fed Chairman Warsh to give us his... how goes it? Inflation, jobs, what's the economy look like, AI bubble, war, oil, all sorts of stuff. He, based on the past couple press conferences, he seems to be a man of few words. Is that going to suffice, or are we going to get some substance out of him, this time? So, it remains to be seen. But folks, I could not be more thrilled with what's going on in the psychedelic space. We'll brief more about the politics of the Democrats, whether they take the House and or the Senate, and what that's going to mean. Bear market. They're gonna drag Elon Musk up, rip apart SpaceX. Somebody just asked that in our member area, like, hey, is there a short squeeze? Or have the long-term bull sentiment changed in our group? It hasn't changed in me with SpaceX. Elon Musk. Not only with SpaceX and his government contracts, Starlink and everything like that, Doge. Do you all remember Doge? Democrats have a long memory unless you're Joe Biden. Democrats are going to drag him up. Elizabeth, head of the Senate Finance Committee, Senator Warren, is calling for hearings into Elon. Folks, they're going to drag him through the mud. They're going to rip apart all of his contracts. SpaceX is going to get hammered. I guarantee you. So you can do whatever you want in SpaceX. Listen to me, I can be bipolar and so can I. I can be short-term bearish, 6 months. I am super long-term bullish on SpaceX, Elon Musk, and everything that he does. Starlink, XAI, rockets, you name it. But right now, man, I'm telling you, the market is underpricing what's going to happen potentially in November. I think we have a lot of volatility coming up in September, October, and it's not priced into the market right now. Price is price. We're up here right now, and you can see the hover, the S&P 500, literally hovering at the 20-day moving average in the S&P 500. We don't hover for long, man. It either is going to break higher or we're going to break lower, and if we break lower, it'll be down to the the 50-day moving average. And I'm going to show you in our free full throttle training how to trade, right? To place a trade that I'm pretty sure is going to make money and also serves as a hedge to protect my long-term bullish positions. I have a trade on out a couple weeks into September because we'll see what happens with this so-called economic D-Day war, which doesn't look too tough, and we'll see what happens with Nvidia. We'll see what happens with Warsaw on Friday. The shooting war with Iran can always flare back up. There's a lot of potential risk out there right now. A lot of my long-term bullish positions are crushing it, making money. But man, when that's going on, I start looking for the fire exit, right? That's when I take a look down in between my legs and look for that ejection seat handle to make sure it's in a good position so I can get out if people start panicking, okay? So go reserve your spot for the next full throttle. Go.topgunoptions.com/full-throttle. And like I said, I'll throw at you the most current bullish on America report. Even if the Democrats take the House and Senate, we get a bear market or something like that. What do markets do over time? They move up and to the right. Yeah, we got the scandemic. Yeah, we had the, Joe Biden bear market in 2022. Yeah, the global financial crisis. I was at ground zero. I was in the Chicago Board of Trade. I ran over to the CBOE building at the VIX pit to see the horror going on. So I've seen the pullbacks, and guess what? You buy the bottom end and re-rip higher. So you're going to read all about that. The bullish case and the bearish case. I'm a flight instructor, man. I look at all the threats. I red team anything that I do. I become my own enemy and say, how am I going to get shot down? How am I going to get killed? It's all in that bullish on America report. But this, man, I gotta, I do. I have to take a deep breath. This is incredible. There's no way in hell lying on my back on a mattress in Mexico over 5 years ago with Marcus Luttrell, JT from Black Rifle, Robert Gallery from the Raiders, another Navy SEAL teammate of Marcus, JJ, who's also a TGO member, that you could have shown me this headline and said, Wiz, look at this. A government agency says states need to plan for FDA approval for psychedelics. I just... Or, hey, man, you and Marcus are going to be in the Oval Office with President Trump. I mean, it was President Biden at the time, and I'm like, wait, Trump got reelected and he's into psychedelics? But that goes to show you the power of just walking, man. Walking the path will appear. And just, putting in my chin, putting on my chin strap and my mouth guard in and right up the middle, man, just... X's and O's football, trying to get things done, knocking on doors. And I think the number one way we got this done is through putting the ladder down. The more you give, the more you get. Helping people heal, helping people reconnect with God, helping them destroy addiction or work through some trauma or pain makes the world and this country a better place. So this news makes my heart smile, man. And it's the beginning. Man, we're not even close. I mean, like I said, go look at I don't know if I still have it up here. Oh, yeah, there's the headline. I'd rather die than give $1 to the New York Times. But Americans encounter risks at psychedelic clinics abroad. Participants, often in vulnerable states, have little recourse if mistreated or injured. So that's why this headline's incredible. I usually run as far as I can away from government regulation, but when it comes to something like this, man, with especially ibogaine because of the potential heart issues, you gotta that require medical stuff. At our church, man, Sacred Warrior Fellowship, psilocybin is a sacrament, 5-MeO DMT, no medical issues, man. These are compounds that have been used for millennia to reconnect with God. Iboga's been used for millennia, but ibogaine, taking ibogaine out of the root bark, the iboga plant, and it's like taking the nuke. You're pulling the nuke part out of it and just using that. It could manifest some potential heart issues. So that type of stuff needs regulation, man. So anyway, good stuff. I'm happy. Good things going on. Okay. One more time, go register to attend Full Throttle. Go.topgunoptions.com/full-throttle. Have a great rest of your day. God bless you. Fights on. Namaste and whiz out. I'll talk to you guys Friday's market wrap up. Cheers.